What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hold on here a second here. Just gotta make sure. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Alright, welcome back to another episode. Picking up right where we left off. After a painful night full of nightmares, I wake up in cold sweat, and my body feels like it's been battered by pro fighters all day long. I try to inhale, but my throat feels like it's been ground with sandpaper. Oh crap. Why now? I cough violently and feel drained of energy. I rest my head against the pillow and try to open my eyes, but my eyelids feel incredibly heavy. This is bad. I promised Sayori I'd spend the day with her. As it stands, I don't even have the strength to reach out to my phone and call her. Even so, she needs to know or she'll wait all day for me. I don't need to be a genius to know how badly she'll take it if I don't show up without an explanation. Dude. You're already blowing it. I try to force my body to move enough to reach my phone, but it's futile. I feel weak and tired. Even so, I have to force myself to bear the cold pain. I crawl like an oversized caterpillar to the edge of my bed and slap the phone down into my bedside, where it lands in my right hand. I quickly select Sayori from my contacts list and call her. Before long, I hear her cheerful but sleepy voice on the other end.
Angie, are you alright? It's still early morning.
I'm sorry if I woke you. I cough violently again.
Oh dear, that sounded awful.
Don't worry about me. I'm sure it's just a cold. Oh, he's sick. Okay. I thought he was being lazy.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I'm just calling to say that. My coughing is so bad that I don't even get a chance to finish my sentence before my finger slips and accidentally makes me end the call. Crap. My phone's almost dead as well. At this rate, it'll run out of battery if I try to call her again. I close my eyes and feel another nightmare enveloping me. In it, I see Sayori standing on the school rooftop, tears streaming down her face. She takes a step forward and I reach out to grab her by the arm before she can jump off. Just as I do, black mist covers everything, and the scene distorts. My eyes open and I'm filled with anxiety. My eyes struggle to stay open for much longer. They close again, and I see Sayori sitting on the floor of her room, covering her face with her hands and crying loudly. In a dream, I try to walk up to her, only to find myself unable to move. I try calling out to her, but my voice is gone. Eventually, she gets up and shows me her face to reveal a pair of red eyes that burn with hatred for me failing her all these years. Just as she lunges at me with screams that she detests me for neglecting her for years, the dream distorts and changes again. I find myself alone in darkness. All I can hear is my own heartbeat. And suddenly, I see Sayori walking towards me, asking me why I never supported her when she suffered, and why I only lived for myself. She then starts repeating the word why over and over again, before the voice magnifies and duplicates, until there's an entire choir asking me why I was such a terrible friend to her. I'm sorry. I hear myself pleading with the voices, but they don't let up. This took a turn fast. They start accusing me, pointing to events in mine and Sayori's past where I could have helped her if I only knew of her condition at the time. Please forgive me. The voices are unfazed and say I don't deserve her kindness. I wake up completely drenched in cold sweat. It seems like the shock of the last dream caused me to finally wake up. I feel tears running down my face, and my entire body keeps switching between burning hot and freezing cold. As I breathe in relief for a moment and think about how horrible my predicament was, I realize all my dreams were exclusively about me and Sayori. It's then that I hear the sound of footsteps down below. Cold horror grabs me as I realize I forgot to lock the door last night before crashing into bed. The footsteps are coming closer. Whoever my intruder may be, they are clearly coming towards me. It's Sayori. I know I'm defenseless in my current condition. There's no hope for me to escape either. It's just Sayori, dude. I see my doorknob turning. My heart is beating furiously as I try to come up with a means of escape. It's then that I hear a familiar voice call to me.
Eiji?
I sigh in relief as I see Sayori enter my room, carrying a tray with some tea. Sayori.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to enter your house without asking you, but luckily you forgot to lock the door last night.
I only blink at her in confusion.
Did I startle you? I'm so sorry if I did.
I shake my head and she sighs in relief. Just, what are you doing here? How? Why?
I was worried about you. You sounded quite sick.
Sayori. As I look at her, my head is overwhelmed with all kinds of thoughts and feelings.
Please don't tell me to leave. I won't.
I clench my fists. I know she speaks the truth, even if I had the strength to force her away. I know Sayori can be stubborn as a mule when she wants to.
I've already called Monica and your homeroom teacher too, telling them both you're sick.
Come to think of it, I know she's not in her school uniform. She seems to have made her decision to skip school today to take care of me. And what about you? Won't you get an absence?
Don't worry about me. I lied and told them that I was feeling sick as well.
Why?
I want to be with you. You have nobody to take care of you, right?
Yeah?
Then it's settled. Just like you won't abandon me because of my condition, I won't leave you until you've recovered.
Please go home. I don't want you to get sick as well.
No can do. Besides, I won't get sick. I just have to believe that really hard and I'll be okay. A-okay. And well, taking care of you makes me happy.
I don't know whether it's from my temperature or my awkwardness at the situation, but I feel my cheeks turning red hot. I appreciate it, Sayori. I'm a lucky guy to have a great friend like you. Sayori says nothing but seems to appreciate the compliment.
Let's not joke around now. Just trust me. I'll make you feel better.
She walks over to me, sits down in a chair near my bed, and puts a hand on my forehead.
Okay.
She gently begins running her fingers down my neck.
I see.
Sayori? This is cool. She sighs.
Thank goodness.
Hello, Earth to Sayori. She snaps out of her trance and sighs.
You have a fever, but it doesn't seem all too serious. Give it a few days and you'll be back to normal.
I throw her a heavily confused look and keep opening and closing my mouth like a dazzled carp.
I just read a lot of books about medicine when I'm alone. Because of, you know.
I nod without saying anything.
Anyway, just drink this for now.
She pours some tea into a cup and hands it to me. It's hot to the touch and I nearly drop it as soon as I take hold of it. Eventually, I manage to put the liquid to my lips and gulp down a few sips. This is really tasty. No sooner do I speak out than a terrible burning notion fills my throat. I cough violently and spill the tea over my bed sheets. Fire! There's a fire in my throat.
I'm sorry. Did I make it too strong?
I merely nod. What the heck did you put in it?
Huh? The book I read said that ginger tea works when you have a sore throat, so I looked through the fridge and found a bunch of ginger.
I feel nervous sweat roll down my back. Fear grips me as I realize what she did. How much of that did you put in the tea?
An entire root?
Even though I'm in clear pain, I know that Sayori only wanted to help. The problem is that I was planning to throw the ginger away since it was past its expiration date. Sayori realizes that she made a mistake, and I can see her smile slowly fading and that her eyes are starting to darken.
I'm sorry. I tried to help, but of course I messed up.
She speaks in a much lower, harsher tone than I've ever heard before. Oh, I appreciate it nonetheless.
Eiji, I'm sorry. Maybe I should leave. I only made this worse.
As she's about to get up, I grab her hand. This gesture surprises her enough to make her hesitate, and I see her look down on me with an indescribable look in her eye. Please don't leave. My voice is barely stronger than a whisper at this point.
Why? I'm just a nuisance.
She also lowers her voice and bites her lip to prevent herself from crying again.
I tried to help you, but I only made you feel worse. Like always.
I shake my head.
Eiji.
I want you to stay.
Even if I'm useless? Even if I can't help you, since I know almost nothing about how to treat illnesses? And I'm so clumsy that I somehow end up making things worse?
I try to nod. Yes. The day has only just begun. We can still make it great. Sayori gasps and sits down. I look up, and judging from her expression, my words seem to have struck a chord in her heart. You can help me, just like I can help you. She says nothing. She's clearly deep in thought. Sayori?
How can I help you, Eiji?
Well, for starters, I need some painkillers, but I can't get up. But more than that, I hear that people recover faster when they're happy.
Oh, right. Sorry.
She dashes off after I describe to her where to find the painkillers and returns less than a minute later with a glass of water and the medicine. After I gulp it down to douse the fire in my chest and ease my overall pain, I lie down. Neither of us speaks, but even with my eyes closed, I can feel that Sayori keeps her gaze locked on me. All of a sudden, she breaks the silence.
I'm sorry if I got all negative there. I really don't know what came over me. It's just... like this voice in my head keeps telling me I'm useless and worthless whenever I mess up.
God bless her. I know she's not a real character, but still, God bless her. If I can relate. I relate to that so much. I turn to face her, smile weakly, and stroke her hand with my fingers. Then we've just gotta make it shut up. If you can't do anything against it, I'll give it a go when I get better.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Why not? I could ask you the same thing right now. Why didn't you head to school when you heard I was sick?
You're my best friend. How can I let you suffer alone? I know that you have nobody else to take care of you right now.
I nod. Wouldn't you say you deserve the same kind of treatment? Sayori falls silent. Sayori?
I don't know. I really don't know. Do I really deserve that?
What do you mean?
I...
She seems to have a hard time finding the courage to put her feelings to words. You know you could tell me anything.
I don't know if I'm ready to tell you yet. I'm...
It sounds like she's in pain. Whatever is the reason for her mindset seems to be really personal to her. But on the other hand, this might be my only chance to find out the root of the problem. If I can learn what made her think this way, I could do something to help her. However, Sayori might break under pressure. I can see she wants to tell me, but... is it really right for me to pry further? Please tell me what happened.
I'm sorry. But I can't. I want to. I really do, but it's too hard for me.
Alright. I'm sorry. I don't want to force you. Let's change the subject then.
I'm sorry. And thank you.
Maybe I should be gentler with her. It seems to be a pretty serious topic for her, and I should give her time. I feel my painkillers taking effect, and my vision is getting blurry.
So, the medicine is starting to take effect?
Yeah.
Good. Take a nap. I'll wait for you to wake up. Maybe then I'll have the courage to tell you.
Her voice grows more and more distant as my fatigue catches up to me and drags me into a dreamless sleep. Before long, I start to hear two voices, a boy and a girl's. However, I see nothing, and the voices sound like they're old recordings that are played from a broken tape. Hey, what's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing.
Huh? What happened to your knee?
I fell. I bruised myself and my stuffed toy.
Wow, its neck is broken. Hey, please don't cry.
He was my only friend.
Your only friend?
Uh-huh. Now, what am I going to do?
Let's go. I think you can fix him.
Really?
No sooner did I become aware of the meaning of the voices than they fade away, leaving only static noise in their place. I wake up with a strangely pleasant nostalgic feeling in my chest. My fever feels slightly less severe, and I feel enough energy to move my body around a little bit, but I'm still in pain. I look at my alarm clock. Judging from the time, I must have slept for a good 6 hours. I notice that Sayori's gone. Was it just a dream that she came over to take care of me? No, it felt way too real to be a dream. As I wonder about the validity of my memories, I can hear extremely loud off-key singing coming from downstairs, followed by a loud crash that can only mean one thing. Sayori's trying to cook. The end is nay. The singing soon becomes even louder, and I realize that she's on her way. I rise up and smile at her as she enters the room.
Oh, you're up. How are you feeling?
Compared to how I felt this morning, I feel a lot better.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Sayori is practically beaming from the news as she sits down on the chair next to me.
You look really peaceful in your sleep.
Yeah, I had a nice dream. I don't really remember the details, though.
That's good to hear.
What's up? She takes a deep breath.
About what I said before you went to sleep. I've been thinking, and I want you to know. Even if I'm scared, but I know I can't keep running away from my problems.
You're not alone, Sayori. There's something that can make me change my mind.
Well, this is going to be a long story. Don't fall asleep, okay? I'll be really upset if you do.
Don't worry, I'm wide awake as you can see. She nods in acknowledgement and looks for words before she begins.
I've always thought that I couldn't really matter. After all, how can somebody matter more than others? Aren't we all the same? You probably know this by now, but I never really had any friends when I grew up. Until I met you, that is.
I remember you were always afraid I'd leave you behind or something like that. She nods.
Yes, well, I've always been aware of how selfish people are. It's wrong that so many people just live for themselves, even though we call it a society. I don't want to be like that. I want to make other people happy, especially those who suffer.
Is that why you got so attached to me when we were kids?
I won't deny it's at least part of the reason, or it was at first anyway. Wanting to help others is fine, but sadly, I didn't think about how the selfish people would treat me. No matter how much I tried to help them, they weren't satisfied. They wanted more. Worse, when I was done helping them back up, they'd often leave me behind.
She suppresses a sob and wipes her tears away.
Eventually, I started to get tired. They never showed any gratitude, and once they saw any signs of weakness in me, they'd turn against me. None of my, quote, friends cared enough to think about how much it hurts to always smile and stay positive every day. But if I didn't, they'd leave me. They'd spread rumors, they'd shut me out of their lives. That's why...
Before she can finish, I gather my strength and hug her tightly.
Hey, Chief.
I'm not like those people, Sayori. I never exploit you for your kindness, and more importantly, I pull slightly away from her just enough to see her face. I will never betray you like that. Her voice lowers down to a whisper.
Eiji, I...
Even if I'm your only friend, you're not alone. I'm about to say something else when I realize our faces are only inches away from each other. Just a little closer, and we'd be kissing. Sayori notices this too and looks away in embarrassment. We break apart, with both of us apologizing at the same time. I lay down again and she continues her story.
That's why I was so afraid to tell you, or anyone else. As for why I feel like I'm worthless, it's like there's some voice inside my head telling me that if I don't satisfy everyone, I don't deserve anything good.
But you know that's not true.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know if it was a good idea for me to ask you to join the literature club. I don't know if it was a good idea for me to tell you. I don't know. I'm scared of losing you.
You won't lose me.
You don't understand. Even if you're here with me, you'll just end up finding someone.
Finding someone? What? Wait. Is she...
I shouldn't feel this way. It's wrong.
It's not wrong. Sayori.
I've gotten so used to always being left behind or exploited, I can't even imagine a happy future. I don't deserve it.
You deserve happiness. You won't be exploited or left behind. I really admire you. It takes guts to keep smiling after all you've gone through, and still keep helping people. But you need to realize how much you're worth. You're worth to me, Sayori. You're the only reason I made it this far. An idea suddenly forms in my head. You remind me of a certain character in an anime that I really love and admire. Do you want to watch it with me?
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
I nod and ask her to leave the room while I change out of my pajamas. 5 minutes later, I call her back and find a DVD in my drawer. She puts it in the TV and we start watching. The heroine of the anime is very much like Sayori. She is selfless to a fault but keeps getting into trouble all the time because of it. Much like Sayori, she tries to face all of her enemies alone, and while she succeeds in overcoming many of them, the final trial is impossible to solve alone. She nearly dies as despair overcomes her. But finally, her friends reach out to her and help her realize how much she is truly worth. The heroine ends up becoming a stronger person and overcoming the final enemy in the series, a being formed from humanity's despair. By the time you finish watching the anime, the sun has already gone down. Keep an eye on Sayori all throughout the anime. She clearly seems moved at the end. It's only when the final episode ends that she speaks up.
Wow, she's so cool and strong.
Indeed she is. She's someone I've idealized since I was a kid.
I wish I could be like that.
You already are. Few people are willing to go to such lengths to help their friends without asking for anything in return. You can't give up, because I'll be lost without my friend. But I don't want you to keep thinking that you don't deserve my friendship. You deserve that, and so much more.
Please,
Do you know why I respect that character so much? Because she's not afraid to be herself. She's a good person, and that is her main source of determination throughout the series. Yes, there will always be people who will want to exploit you for your selfless kindness, but there will also be people who care about you and who love you for your actions. You're not worthless, because you're doing so much to help. Not just me, but the way you stopped Yuri and Natsuki from fighting the other day, and how you always try to be as kind as possible to everyone you meet. If someone acted that way towards you, would you go as far as to call them worthless as well?
No, I wouldn't. I feel happy that they are so kind to me.
That's how you make me feel. Every day.
Eiji.
She bites her lip and looks at my alarm clock.
It's late. Maybe we should eat. I have to go soon.
Sure, I'm getting hungry. I'm sorry if I made you feel awkward.
Don't worry. I appreciate hearing that I'm not worthless to you.
Sayori brings me a dinner that she made herself, and the two of us eat in silence. Once we're done eating, she wishes me a good night and returns home after promising to come back tomorrow. Somehow, having someone take care of me feels really nice. But could there be another reason for why I feel so warm inside of me when I think about her, and how she came to take care of me? Could it be because of her and not just her gesture of kindness? I fail to find the answer before I fall asleep again.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
A young woman's voice breaks me out of my sleep. I open my eyes to see Sayori standing over my bed, holding a steaming hot cup of tea in her hands. I feel a faint smile creep up on my face upon seeing her. Morning.
Well, it's technically afternoon, but you look so peaceful in your sleep I can't bring myself to wake you up.
She puts the cup of tea down on my nightstand and feels my forehead.
How are you feeling?
I try to reply, but my cough is still pretty violent. Sayori sighs deeply, clearly disappointed with herself.
I was hoping you'd feel better.
I do. It just takes a while to recover. I look directly at her. How about you, Sayori? She smiles a radiant smile.
I told you yesterday. Don't worry about me. I'm tougher than I look. Besides, I'm here because I want to take care of you.
She mutters the last line to herself, her voice sounding more distant as she does. Sayori. She notices the concern in my voice and shakes it off.
It's nothing. I was just talking to myself as all. I guess I'm weird like that.
I think it's kind of cute. She takes her hand off my forehead and backs away. Is it just my imagination, or does she tense up for a few seconds after I call her cute?
Anyway, I figured that since it's already past noon that I should wake you up. It won't do you any good if you sleep the entire day away.
Her expression darkens.
I speak from personal experience after all.
Sayori is acting weird. Could this be her depression acting up again? Sayori, is something wrong? She shakes her head and smiles brightly.
No, it's nothing. I just feel a little tired, I guess.
Come to think of it, I did read that people suffering from depression often have sleep issues. I think I should feel well enough to get up. You can go home if you want to rest.
No, please don't.
The desperation and fear in her voice is enough to make me flinch. She tries to smile, but I can tell from her eyes that she's scared of something. Sayori, please tell me what's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Everything's all good.
Sayori, I can tell when you're lying to try to protect me. She clenches her fists.
Please, Angie, just focus on your own recovery, okay? You worrying about me makes me feel really uncomfortable. I want to help others, but please, don't worry about me.
I shake my head and tell her that I can't do that.
Why? It should be easy enough. You just continue doing like you've always done.
It's not that simple. A friendship is a mutual relationship. Upon hearing the words mutual relationship, Sayori seems to hesitate for a second. However, she regains her composure almost instantly and takes the cup of tea in both her hands.
Anyway, just drink this up. I made it less intense than yesterday. And please, don't tell me to leave.
I sigh. Sure. I mean, I only said that out of concern since you seemed tired. She falls silent and makes it clear she won't reply until I drink the herbal tea she brewed. With a sinking feeling of defeat, I put the cup to my lips and slowly make small gulps to drink the steaming hot tea. Just like Sayori said, it's less intense. I feel revitalized as soon as it flows into my stomach. Sayori takes my cup, but instead of leaving the room, she sits down on the chair near my bed.
Angie, are you afraid of being left behind? Being all alone in the world? No, never mind. Forget I said anything. I must be really tired if I'm rambling stuff like this right now.
No, it's a perfectly legit question. I was put off by how sudden it was. To be honest, I guess I haven't given it much thought. Sure, I would hate to be all alone in the world, but there's no reason for me to fear that since I have you as a friend. We'll always stick together, since I know you're dependable.
I don't know about that, but I guess you have no reason to fear being left behind.
Sayori falls silent and turns her head away from me. It's clear that she's hiding something, but I can't imagine what. Sayori, did something happen?
It's nothing. You don't have to worry about it. Just forget I said anything. It's nothing you need to worry about right now. Your recovery is more important. I'm an idiot for even bringing that up now.
Judging from her voice, she's trying to fight back her tears. She's lost someone. I can tell. She gets up from the chair and starts leaving, still wearing a bright smile on her face. I won't allow this. Sayori, wait. I gather my strength and get out of bed.
Eiji, no! Get back! You're still too weak.
I ignore her and walk up to her. She knows no sign of running away. Oh, she shows no sign of running away. She only stands and looks at me with a bewildered expression on her face. Before she can back off, I put my arms around her.
Eiji, you big dummy.
Tears start rolling down her face. You know you can trust me. I mean, you've already told me about your depression. She wipes her tears away and looks at me with a calm, serious look on her face.
Eiji, please let go of me. You shouldn't waste your time trying to help me solve my own issues.
Her voice is unusually sharp and harsh. Despite this, I defiantly shake my head. I won't do that, Sayori. I turn my head away and let out a violent cough before continuing. Like family to me. Maybe even more. Sayori.
I'm hungry. If you can stay out of bed, it means we can go downstairs and eat.
Okay. But I want you to tell me what's wrong. She nods silently.
Okay, but I'm warning you. It's not a happy story.
That's fine by me. If anything, at least sharing it with someone is better than keeping it all to yourself, especially if it's something that bothers you. Isn't that what friends are for? She doesn't reply and merely pushes me away before going downstairs. After making sure she can't see me anymore, I quickly change out of my pajamas and into my casual clothes. I then head downstairs, my heart pounding for some reason. Okay, that's all that I have for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Leave that like. Comment down below, and there's a link in the description to the Doki Doki Purist Mod playlist that I'm doing if you want to get caught up with the story so far. And subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night.